Behind me, you'll see the brand new addition to the Ranger, the Hima steel canopy. Massive thank you to Vic Off-Road for sending this one out for us to test out and install on the Ranger. So the canopy can support up to 300 kilos dynamic, 400 if you're static. So more than enough for a rooftop tent up there on those racks. The gull wing doors are oversized for easy access. This thing's built to last. It's constructed with high strength aluminium door panels and reinforced steel roof rails. It's got dual layer protection with an e-coat, then a powder coat, locking out corrosion and rust even in coastal or high salt environments. So it's got water and dust protection. All of your panels are fitted with rubber seals. They've even thought about integrating the brake light to the rear of the canopy. And this thing comes with plenty of locks as well. There's one set of keys for every single lock on this, which is more than enough. So let me show you guys how this thing comes when you order one and how to put it together. Just bear in mind, obviously, whole point of Get That Bread is from a beginner's perspective when it comes to this stuff. So let me show you how to put this canopy together so you can rock one on your Ranger as well. This is by far the biggest package I've ever received. Massive shout out to the guys at Vic Off-Road. So they've sent out their brand new product, the Hima steel canopy. So we'll get this thing unboxed and we'll see what it takes to get it all together, because it's all in pieces and everything, obviously. And then we'll get it chucked on the back of the Ranger. Look at this thing. All right, so we've got everything laid out from inside the box here. We've got the roof rails, got the back near the cab, we've got the two sides, and we've got the rear as well with the built-in light at the top. And we've got all the bracketry and everything here for actually securing it to the tub and everything. Take a look at how many keys you get. You get 6 pairs of 2. So you get 12 keys altogether. I guess if you were like a tradie or something and you had a bunch of people that you needed to have keys to the back of your ute to get tools out of, probably would come in handy. But from what I can tell, looking at the instructions, I should be able to get away with a 13mm bit on a ratchet and a size 5 Allen key as well. There's not that many instructions really, so there's only 6 steps to get it all together, and then you've got the actual mounting to the ute. So roof rails on the roof, you put the sides on, you put the supporting brackets in underneath, rear and your front on, put your seal on, and then you need to seal all the panels, which is what this stuff's for. And this funky looking thing. And then yeah, you actually chuck it on the ute after that. So I do actually need to park a car in here tonight, so I'll be working over here in this space here. I would thoroughly recommend trying to get a mate to help you out with this, because yeah, some of this stuff's pretty heavy, but I'll see how I go. I'm gonna lay a blanket down over here, put the roof down, and then yeah, step number 1, we'll get the rails chucked on the roof. This is where having 2 people would be very handy. Once you've got your side panel in place, you want to put your securing strap in. So, now before you bolt this down, you want to put sealant in all of these as well, because this is the actual roof, so you don't, when it rains, you don't want it to obviously get any water or anything in here. So this is where having 2 people would come in handy, so someone can hold this while the other person's tightening things down. But I will chuck a bunch of sealant around in here and then get my bolts and make sure this is all nice and secure. Now I might actually put sealant on this first bit here, because I can actually make sure I get right in where that hole is. and then I'll mount up the other bits. Now you're not actually going to see this, so it doesn't have to look pretty, but you want to make sure that, yeah, no water should be able to get through here. Okay, so we're at the point of putting the rear and the front on. Now, unfortunately, in transit, the front piece, so the part that sits towards the cab, actually got a dent in it. Now, I know that happened in transit because the box actually had a section on it in the corner that was completely pushed in. What will happen is, like, this part here is still all a straight line. So when I go to put this bolt in here, it'll hopefully pull it in a bit closer and everything. So when I go to do the sealant, I'll just have to make sure in that spot I'm double checking that it is actually sealed off and everything. It hasn't affected it other than just being a dent there, but it is what it is. The way you know you've got it around the right way is the rear tapers a little bit towards the back, and the front here, the holes will actually only line up with the side that it's meant to go on, kind of thing. So, and then this is all just one flat side. So it's going to go something like this. So again, if you had two people, it would be super handy, but I'll just do one screw at a time, get it on there. Alright, we are getting there. It's starting to look something like a canopy, but obviously upside down. Now, sun is going down. Do need to head out for the evening. We'll come back, finish this thing off Sunday morning tomorrow. I'll ask the guys at Vic Off-Roads, like, if I was a paying customer, if that showed up like that, how they'd handle it, kind of thing. I'm sure they'll just say, yeah, we'd replace it. But I'll get a formal response, but yeah, we're getting there.
The next day.
So I've enlisted the help of Woody today, so he should be here soon to help out because this thing is quite heavy. Yesterday we managed to piece the puzzle together. So next step on the list is to put this seal around the sides here. So it'll just help try and keep some of the water out and everything. And that'll be what rests against your tub and everything like that. So obviously you don't have to put it on this section. This is the bit that goes on the tailgate, so it goes around the entire bit there. So we'll get that stuck on, and then we'll look at sealing up all the joins and everything with some sealant. So we've got the seal around the edges. So this part here, cut the 45 here, straight edge it on there. I'll put some sealant in here as well. And we should be good now. When it gets down to this end here where it starts to taper, it does hang a little bit over there. So I'm not sure what that's gonna look like once it's on the actual ute, but we'll soon find out. Well, we've got that all on now. So the next step is to actually flip this over and then seal all of the joints. So we flipped her over. Bloody hell, this thing is quite heavy. So it's not like crazy heavy, but it's big enough and heavy enough that it's awkward to do by yourself. Definitely have a mate here with you, but now we need to, where all of these panels join up, chuck some sealant on there. So in the instructions it says just put some tape on the sides and then put your sealant in, and then they give you a little tool thing to try and like smooth it out. I might just use my fingers, see how we go. But yeah, you just want to make these little sections here watertight so no water can get in there. Alrighty, so sealing is all done around the canopy. So just waiting for Woody to get here to help me lift it onto the back, but did have a bit of a mishap with the tubing as you saw, but it's alright. I had a bit of Sikaflex here, so just grab that and use that. Now, remember, this is from a beginner's perspective. This is the first time I've sealed up something this big and all that sort of stuff, so when you're looking really close, some of it might look a little bit home ran, but it's going to do what it's meant to, which is stop water getting in. Obviously, if you're more experienced at this, it might look a little bit more neat, but it doesn't look too bad if you ask me. That's essentially all of the assembling to do. Now, when we go to chuck it on to the actual tub, you get these points here. So this clips up onto your tub, and then you can use a bolt to clamp it to underneath in here. So I'll show that when we're actually putting it on there and everything. And then at this end of the tub, there are a couple of holes which should, I'm hoping, line up with some of the factory holes, which are here, covered by the wrap at the moment. So we'll see if they line up, and then if they don't line up, I think we can potentially use these to line those factory ones up, but otherwise these will be clipped around the sides and everything like that. So you get plenty of those. You've got all your nuts and bolts and everything here for it. I think if you want to, once this is clamped up underneath, you can put a bolt through this section to actually like bolt it to the tub itself instead of like a clamping motion. But then I probably won't do that because you've got to actually drill holes into the tub. Just a bit strapped on time as well, but for extra security you could, once you've got it clamped on, you could actually fully bolt it on if you want it to be more permanent. My end goal with this is to use it for like a camping sort of situation as well. Having a canopy, one thing you need to consider is you do limit what you can actually carry now in the back. So obviously you won't be taking like big fridges or anything like that anymore. So with this, end goal will be having it so I can pull it into a garage and then have something like on the roof that will jimmy it up kind of thing, and then it'll like live up there, and then when we go camping and all that sort of stuff, I can lower it down and put it on. If I'm not using the ute for like, I don't know, gardening or going to the dump or anything like that, then yeah, this can just live on the back of it. It's not hurting anyone, so there you go. So I'll wait for Woody to get here and we'll chuck it on. All right, massive change of plans. It is about to piss down. That's gonna stay in here. I'm gonna get the Commodore in before it potentially hails, because that is heading this way. We'll come back to this. All right, it is the following weekend, and if you live between Toowoomba and Brisbane, you're about to get thrashed by that rain. So Woody's on his way over, help give me a hand lifting this thing on. Just gonna make sure around all of the tub is actually clean, ready to put this on top, and then should be ready. wheels down first. Down.
A great success!
Oh my god. Dude, that was so satisfying.
Thanks, Woody. One thing to keep in mind is your light up here on the back of your cab. So see how that's touching at the moment. I need to move it back a little bit so it's not touching. Alternatively, I guess you could take that actual light out, but if you do that, there is like a little hole that, a bit of a hole that it leaves in your roof. So I'll just make sure that's taken off. Other than that, just get clamping. Alright, I didn't film it because the camera was overheating in the sun, but I've got these all on. So I didn't film where I was actually drilling into the side there, so I've just done one on each side for now. And it is definitely not going to go anywhere. But super happy with how it's looking. This thing's freaking awesome. So when the guys at Vic Off-Roads reached out to make a video about it, I jumped at the opportunity. So I didn't want to do the same setup that I had on the nav with the rooftop tent on the tub rack sort of thing, and this is just perfect. So literally for camping, like I'm a pretty basic kind of guy. I can literally chuck a mattress in the back now, load it up with everything else that you need, and then once you get to camp, pull everything out and you've got your mattress all set up in there underneath kind of thing, and just literally sleep in here. So obviously this thing has roof rails as well, so if a rooftop tent does come along in the future, it can go up there as well. But if you live near Toowoomba, Brisbane area kind of thing, you'll know we've had some pretty crappy weather the last couple of days, and this thing literally kept all of the water out, which is amazing. I was, not gonna lie, I was expecting to see some water get in, because as part of the process you do need to seal off some of the gaps and things like that, but obviously no water got in, which is pretty damn cool. Now you'll notice that I haven't actually hooked up the rear light just yet. It's on the list of things to do, just under a bit of time pressure with a few things at home and everything, but simple enough. It's got a positive and a negative. You just hook that into your brake light and then that'll work. But I mean, this thing is freaking awesome. Like, I mean, just look at this thing. So if you guys want to grab your own Hima steel canopy for your Ranger, or they do have them available for other utes as well, jump down to the link in the description. Yes, it's an affiliate link. It does help me out if you guys use that link. Massive thank you to Vic Off-Road for supplying the canopy. You guys are freaking awesome. Look at this thing. It's definitely completely changed the look of the Ranger, and the possibilities for camping and everything are endless now that we've got this on the back. But thanks so much for watching this episode of Get That Bread, guys. I'll see you in the next one.